Anxious and avoidant. Which one is worst? Well, which one is more traumatized is the avoidant. Which one is more sick? It's the anxious. Here's why. An avoidant has a lack of capacity, right? They've been traumatized through childhood, lack of communication, lack of showing up for them, lack of empathy, lack of support, lack of community, lack of intimacy, on a emotional level, family wise, etc. But the anxious person is so desperate for love that they will literally sell the clothes on their back and all of their possessions in order to get love. You see, it's two of the same things. It's just on the other side of the coin. Give it to you like this. There's two people who are incarcerated. I'm freestyling here, right? Let's say like two people who's incarcerated. Okay, they're both incarcerated, but one person has the inability to stop doing crimes. Okay, yeah. One person has the inability to stop committing crimes. The other person committed a crime, but it's like, let's say like it's like a small crime, like they stole from like CVS or some shit like that, petty crime. But like they are also addicted to staying imprisoned. That is perfect. Oh, I cooked with that one. Okay, I cooked with that one. That was just a freestyle, but I cooked with that one. But no, seriously. So both of y'all are technically criminals, right? But one person, it's that they can't stop doing crime, and they probably did some really effed up crimes. And then the other person, they did a crime. It's not that bad. They did it because they stole from CVS because like they needed to feed their child, their newborn, or whatever the case may be. So it's not really bad, but they're addicted to being in prison. They like the comfort of being in prison. They won't allow themselves to be free because they know prison. They feel comfortable. They like it there. There's too many risks in life. I don't know about the certainty of life day to day. So I'm just going to stay here in this prison because I know in this prison, at least I get 3 meals. I get to shower in the cold water. There's a regiment, there's a schedule, there's a routine. That is what anxious people love. The schedule, the regiment, the routine, and the consistency and the predictability of the person that they're with, even if it's a bad predictability. So they're both actually pretty anxious and avoidant are actually both pretty jacked up people. It's just that one is a little less serious, but one is more traumatized and one is more sick, because anxiously attached people, despite how much the situation hurts them, they will continue to go back to this. You know how many one-on-one anxious people can't let go, despite how painful it is, despite what it will cost them, despite the fact that they know they don't belong somewhere. And avoidant people just quit on relationships way too easily, need multiple sources of validation at any given time, and put their comfort first, no matter what it costs them as well. So it's kind of like Magneto and Professor X. It's SmackDown versus Raw. It's two sides of the same coin, honestly and truthfully. Faith and dreams. Swagger, swagger, swagger.